Good morning, ladies. I hope your morning is off to a wonderful start. It's hard to believe that we've been down the mountain from the encounter for almost 4 weeks now. I hope you are all standing strong against the attacks of the enemy, as we know he does not like to give up territory, and he's most likely circling the camp, trying to pull us back into his crafty schemes. I want to encourage you to be strong and courageous. 1 Peter 5:8 tells us, "Be alert and of sober mind, for your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for whom he may devour." We have to remember that the enemy has studied us. He knows how to push our buttons and how to wound us and how to cause us to fear and doubt. Now it's time for us to study him, to know his tactics and to recognize who your true enemy is and how to fight right. I want us to remember that the devil is not equal to God. He does not have the same power or the same authority. He is a fallen angel who took 1/3 of the angels with him when he rebelled against God. These are the powers of darkness and the principalities in high places that the Bible tells us about. Ephesians 6:12 tells us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of darkness of this world." So we don't wrestle or fight against people. They are not our real enemy. We are to war against the powers of darkness and principalities in high places, the demonic strongholds that are affecting people and causing them to think and behave the way that they do. We need to know that what we are up against. Remember when Jesus came up to the man in the tombs and he asked him, "What is your name?" He did that, I believe, as an example to us. Ask God to show you what stronghold you are up against. Is it a spirit of fear, a spirit of pride, a spirit of addiction, lust, insecurity, deception? There could be any number of spirits that you are up against. Once you know what you are up against, you will better know how to pray, and you can take authority over it. God has given us authority over evil and demonic spirits. Matthew 16:9 clearly states, "I give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Jesus also said in Luke 10:19, "Look, I have given you all authority over the power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. Nothing will injure you." We make our battles so much worse when we war with people. It gives the enemy so much ammunition to wreak havoc in our relationships. This is also why our words are so important. Our words have power, ladies. Be careful and prayerful about what you say. James 3:10 says that blessing and cursing should not come out of the same mouth. We need to be intentional about taking our thoughts captive, because what we think about will come out. 2 Corinthians 10 tells us to take every thought captive. And Philippians 4:8 says to fix our thoughts on what is true, noble, lovely, pure, and of good report. We must get rid of all stinking thinking. So when we catch ourselves thinking wrong or negative thoughts, we need to renounce them and replace them with something positive and praiseworthy. Speak life. Speak God's word. He promises us that it will not return void. And lastly, ladies, remember to put on your armor. Ephesians 6:10 says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes and strategies of the devil." And 2 Corinthians 10 says, "For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds." That is so amazing, ladies. We have got to fight with the weapons that God has given us so that we can walk in that divine power to demolish those strongholds. So ladies, I pray that you will remember and recognize who your real enemy is, and that you will be intentional to fight right. I encourage you to read and study the book of Ephesians and to read through the New Testament to gain an understanding of the power that is available to us who believe, and to continue walking in the authority that Christ died to give you. Many blessings.